Right. I'm actually a good bit excited for this. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. This is the new podcast series. It seemed very fitting. Just another day. This is, cycling is something really important to me in my life. It has been really something that I can, I don't know, it's like a therapy to me. And not everybody gets that effect from it. Not everybody likes riding, but I love riding. I love riding my bike. And yeah, I think this would be a cool way to kind of show it and talk about some things that I know. So I wanted to start this off with life realization, and that's if you find the thing that you love to do, then people tend to think that you're spending too much of your time doing something that you're, if you're like too happy all the time, it can't be good. So too much of a good thing is a bad thing, right? And then the flip side being that if you do things that maybe are not that exciting to you, and you're trying really hard, now you're like a kiss ass. Now everyone thinks you're just being a kiss ass and just trying to get ahead, show off. So my point to that is that people are always going to put pressure on you to be something, and then when you're not that thing, they're going to put pressure on you to try and change you from that thing. And so it kind of doesn't matter whether or not you're doing it right, whether you're doing it wrong, whether you're having a good time or not. The reality is, I think everyone gets to this at different points. You do the things that you want to do, that you like to do, and you just don't give a fuck. And when I worked at the bike shop, that was the reason why I was there. I loved what I was doing. I loved helping people. I loved getting more people on bikes, and I loved being able to be that resource. Moving to Yudae is a very similar thing, that I love being a resource and a fountain of information for people to come to when they have questions on things that I know a lot about. It's like health and wellness. And, a lot of people get pressured into doing things that they really wouldn't have done otherwise. And so I think a lot of people have had that relationship with alcohol. They typically get into drinking in their college years because people told them that is the societal norm. That's what you do, not only when you get older, but you're going to hang out with adults, or that's what you end up doing. So what I wanted to really talk about, what the whole podcast is really about to begin with, is hydration, because it kind of goes hand in hand. And when I was turning 21, I was not interested at all with going out and drinking. I was much more interested in riding my bike. And the reason was because my first semester of college, I graduated high school when I was 17, went to college when I was 18. I figured out in my first semester that alcohol just wasn't for me. I did all the parties, all the late night stuff. I did all the shits. And it just wasn't for me. Mostly it was that toxic feeling, just being like poisoned after. I just couldn't quite get over that part. So what I ended up doing was I planned for months ahead of my 21st birthday. I planned to do a solo century, which is a 100-mile bike ride. And I wanted to do it at an average speed of 17 to 18 miles per hour. And long story short there, I achieved that goal. But keeping with the hydration focus, I prepared all my food, but I did not prepare myself for how much I was going to be sweating, and I didn't drink enough water throughout. I've always considered myself kind of like a camel, not that I hold water, but that I can go a very long time without needing to drink water, even being, doing a lot of physical exertion. And so what I kind of, and what ended up happening to me, as you might imagine, is I got extremely dehydrated. I overheated. It took me 24, 48 hours to kind of, bounce back, if you will. Not that you really bounce back from that. But yeah, it took me a while. So then what I did was I really started learning about hydration and what. So your 5 electrolytes are sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, and magnesium. Sodium, everyone is familiar with. Daily recommended intake for a healthy adult is 2,500 milligrams a day. That's what you should have in your day. Most Americans get a lot of sodium added to their diet from the foods that they eat. And so that means a lot of sodium that you don't need to supplement on. So nobody needs to really supplement on sodium. In fact, Pedialyte, which is one of the best hydration drinks out there, in my opinion, tastes absolutely horrible, has little to no sodium content in it. It just has all of your other electrolytes. Probably also worth mentioning that electrolytes are measured in a concentration called milliequivalent. If you're reading the blog on this, then you'll see those units in there. MEQ is milliequivalent, which is it's a standard for a concentration measurement. So basically, what you want to do is you want to try and keep all of your concentration, your blood serum, electrolyte concentration. You want to try and keep that balanced. And part of that is knowing what you're supposed to have. So sodium supplementation is 115 milligrams, 100 to 115 milligrams, per person, depending on what you're doing and how much physical exertion you have. Again, the more physical exertion you have, the more you're going to need to replenish these electrolytes, but everyone excretes them at different amounts. Sodium is often binded with chloride, which is excreted at equal rates. So you pretty much never need to supplement on chloride. Sometimes you'll find sodium chloride as a supplement. Usually that's already bound together and it's added into whatever supplement that is. So pretty much never need to focus on that. It's not only uptake at the same rate, it's excreted at the same rate. And that's pretty much through urea or urine. So the next one is, I said chloride, so sodium, and then potassium. Potassium is for your heart. Potassium is really important for muscle signaling, as is magnesium. The specific rate or supplement dosage on those, you'll have to check the blog for that one. I'm not pulling that up on the top of my head. But supplementing on potassium has been shown to significantly decrease your blood pressure. It can help with hypertension. It can also help give a sense of relaxation. Soak in magnesium. Magnesium supplementation is something that people have, it's kind of become a trend or a fad lately, I guess. People have been supplementing on that a good bit. And so if you're trying to get a better night's sleep, maybe you went really, really hard. Maybe it's like if you did a Murph this year, for Memorial Day celebration, then maybe you were feeling really sore that night, or maybe 24 hours, 48 hours after, you're feeling really sore. What you can do in situations like that is you can take some magnesium before you go to bed. It'll help you relax. It'll also help with gut motility if you're feeling a little, uh, stuffed up, backed up. You can take some magnesium. It's a much better trial than going straight to some sort of laxative, because those will usually dehydrate you really pretty good. So yeah, so, and then your last one is calcium. Calcium is an ion that plays an important role in muscle signaling as well. And if you look up how the phosphocreatine system works in the body, which is like ATP production, then what you'll probably realize is just how important calcium is to your muscles. We all think it's just bones. It definitely does play a role in bones, and women should look at supplementing calcium more. But calcium is absorbed at different rates of different kinds, and it depends what you're taking and who you are when you're taking it. So you're going to want to check with a doctor before you add in any sort of supplementation at all. That is an important thing to note and know as a fact, because you may not be thinking of another drug that it interacts with, or you may not be realizing how the metabolic pathway actually works. If you were to take a supplement while you're on a medication, they may be affecting the same metabolic pathway, and they might enhance or diminish each other, and neither one of those may be good. So it could be good, but it might not be good. And just the fact that you're less likely to know that means you should check that with a registered dietitian or some sort of medical practitioner. So yeah, that's pretty much everything about electrolytes. And I'm going to be trying to do more podcasts like this, or I will be doing more podcasts like this, assuming that everything keeps working and the audio of this comes out good. So if you enjoyed, please press the like button or subscribe button wherever you are. We may end up just turning this into a video series, if not just a straight podcast. It really depends on the audio. I don't want to blare your ears out if it's not, cutting out all the wind sound or something like that. It's probably not going to be the best audio quality for a podcast. But yeah, so we'll keep doing it. And thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you've got anything that you'd really like to see. Cool. Later.